So at that horrific Madison Square Garden hate festival that has tanked Donald Trump's campaign, from the perspective of a reporter, there's so many like Easter eggs in there, like that I love to just find, like the one I just showed you where Donald Trump was trying to like squeeze Melania's hand and not let go. And she was like fighting to try to get her hand out. And then she finally broke free. And, as part of their post-nuptial arrangement that she's renegotiated several times now, I think she has to like show up at certain events. And so she showed up the last day of the RNC. She showed up at this one. She actually spoke at this RNC hate festival. She's going to lean in, as she's realizing the gravy train may just be over. So she actually thinks she's going to be helpful because she's a malignant narcissist as well. But really what it did is it just remind us of the oddities, the weirdness, and why we're just so repulsed and exhausted by these Trumps. Just the one thing about Melania, which I'll talk about in a little bit too, she destroyed our rose garden. Do you remember? Like, she took a shovel and she literally ripped up the rose garden in the White House. But I guess, I don't know, that was her contingency plan, so she didn't end up like Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, who is now buried in the back lot of Donald Trump's golf course in the swamp area of Bedminster. How ghoulish can you get? And Trump's kids, their mother's just buried in the back lot in the swamp with like an unmarked grave in Trump's Bedminster golf course so he could like get tax credits as a cemetery. They're ghoulish. They're ghoulish. All right, take a look at this though, because one of the things it reminds us as well is you have Elon Musk standing right next to Melania. Look how happy Melania looks in this photo. And as Emily writes here, 2 immigrants who violated our immigration laws. You raise an issue there, Emily. We know that Elon Musk was here unlawfully originally, and we should probably do a deeper dive now, shall we? Maybe in another video, into the representations that Elon Musk made to defense contractors and others, because you saw the reporting that he was here in an undocumented fashion, and all of the things that he and Donald Trump rage against, and he's the poster child, and he's out there now, in my view, committing very serious election issues. Then you have Melania there, who met Donald Trump at the Kit Kat Club. Yes, she worked at a modeling agency for young Eastern European women that brought young Eastern European women to the United States to meet wealthy Manhattan businessmen. And this guy, Paolo Zampoli, would throw these parties at the Kit Kat Club, which was like a nightclub in Manhattan, where they would make these arrangements between wealthy Manhattan older men and young Eastern European women. And that's how Melania met Donald. And then they expedited her process. They gave her an Einstein visa, and before you knew it, she went ahead of the line in front of everybody else. It reminds me, right, what Stephen Miller said. Stephen Miller gave the speech, basically a direct quote from Adolf Hitler, where Adolf Hitler would say, "Germany is for Germans and Germans only." Stephen Miller goes, "America is for Americans and Americans only." And I just think about this image right here of Musk and Melania, who are actually causing so much damage to our incredible nation, and then all the hardworking people who they try to demonize. It's just such a, isn't it ironic? Well, here, I say, isn't it evil, the way these MAGAs behave? Here's Stephen Miller. Here's what he has to say. Let's play it.
The cartels are gone. The criminal migrants are gone. The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only. One man, and that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for democracy.
And by the way, as Aaron Rupert says, I wonder who Melania plagiarized here. So here's Melania's speech. She's been in the United States for a long time now, right? I mean, she's been here for a very long time. And I'm not saying this I'm not saying this in like a mockery way. I really struggle to understand anything she's saying in this speech. Tell me if you understand, but the fact that you have Trump attacking immigrant population. I'll just play this clip of Melania right here. Let's play it.
Where titans of finance, fashion, and entertainment convene among an iconic range of superior design, structures, and artistic accomplishments. And American ingenuity blossoms among determined citizens who race across city streets and between offices, striving for success. It is you who are the heartbeat of this great metropolis.
That also connects some other dots right now, right? So you have Melania up there. One of the things that's going viral right now on TikTok is Gen Z, particularly Gen Z women, young ladies who are, for the first time, and it's better late than never as we get close to the election, hearing Donald Trump's own words about how Donald Trump treats women, how Donald Trump brags about molesting women, how Donald Trump is on audio bragging about grabbing women by their genitals, by their vaginas. That's what Donald Trump says he loves to do. He says that he's rich, and when you're rich and famous like him, you're allowed to grab women by their vaginas without their consent. That's Donald Trump's statements that's out there. So here's the type of videos that are going viral. I've seen thousands of these right now on TikTok. And so as I see Melania up there, she's complicit to this. She knows this. And she was one of the people who helped Donald Trump cover it up, quite frankly. But here's the TikTok that's going viral. Let's play it.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news there.
No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch. But I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some TikToks just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Pull the ham.
And then I do think it's worth reflecting as well about whether Melania did plagiarize the speech that she gave, because she's a plagiarist. All she does is plagiarize and grift. It's Trump. Do you remember, and this is why too, there are new audiences here. You may not remember this, so it's worth showing you. Do you remember at the first Republican National Convention back in 2016 when Melania literally stole the exact same convention speech of Michelle Obama? Word for word. She read for real. She read Michelle Obama's speech from 2008, and she pretended that was her speech. These are the Trumps. They're stealers. They're grifters. They're crooks. This is who they are. Here, play this clip.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
For what you want in life.
That your
word is your bond. That you do what you say you're going to do.
Keep your promise.
That you treat people
with
dignity and respect, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
So let's connect that to what went down on Monday night. In the speech that Donald Trump gave, where the crowd was like emptying out a half hour, 45 minutes through, that went from a relatively crowded location to about half empty right away. One of the things that Donald Trump was whining about, this is part of his closing message. Closing message is Puerto Rico is a garbage can. It's a floating garbage can. Donald Trump's other closing message, he's going to turn the military against American citizens. He wants to be a dictator on day one. Arnold Palmer has a gigantic penis. These are the things that Donald Trump is talking about. He's also talking about, seriously, those are the things that he's talking about. Michelle Obama, he says, was nasty. He goes, Michelle Obama's nasty to him. And that's part of his message. Here, play this clip.
Born on November 5th. You know what's nasty to me? Michelle Obama. Ooh. I always tried to be so nice and respectful. Oh, she opened up a little bit of a box. She opened up a little bit of something. Oh, she was nasty. Ooh. Shouldn't be that way. That was a big mistake that she made.
Michelle Obama's getting under Donald Trump's skin, but what she's talking about is, if you're a man and you have a woman in your life, how do you support someone like Donald Trump? And I think back to that video I showed you before, too, of the Gen Z ladies who are saying, man, there are fathers, there are dads who are going to vote for that guy who's on audio recording, bragging about grabbing women's vaginas without consent? Huh? Play this clip.
But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. Prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety?
And here's Michelle Obama again. Let's play the clip.
This was just the tragic exclamation point on his disastrous presidency. Installing judges and justices who have now stripped away our reproductive freedoms. Cracking down on protesters marching to protect their sons from being shot because of the color of their skin. Rolling back protections for LGBTQ Americans. Fanning conspiracy theories, unleashing hatred in our communities. And then, when the American people fired him from a job that was too big for him to begin with, he tried to steal it, egging on a violent mob that breached our nation's capital. And when told that his own vice president was in danger, you know what he said? So what? So what, y'all? He said, so what?
Which then brings me back to that bizarre event that Donald Trump did. And again, this is the perversion of the Trumps right here, right? This is what they do, how they just make everything disgusting. So here we have Donald Trump at the Al Smith dinner. He's sitting next to a priest, and sitting right next to a Catholic priest right there. And the person who's speaking is talking about Donald Trump sexually molesting women. And you see the priest next to him. I mean, again, as I watch this, I go, I'm exhausted by this. I said, get these Trumps out of here. I don't want them perverting this country anymore. They're perverts. Get these sicko perverts out. That's what I think. I'm like, I just want normal. Please get this family out of here. They're sickos. Here, play this clip.
You know, during the first and only debate, President Trump talked about migrants taking cats and eating them. You know, if you're keeping track at home, this is the second time grabbing a kitty has been part of a campaign issue. You know,
we talked about leaving that
out. I was going to leave that out.
Speaking of sickos, want to see the types of things Melania is selling? The grift? Here is the most ridiculous photo. They're selling $500 First Lady. This is real. $500 fake $500 bills for $9.99. For $9.99, you can buy a fake $500 First Lady Melania Trump gold bill. Like the stupidest thing in the world. Oh, and then when Melania does her interview, she demands a $250,000 speaking fee. By the way, Trump's Political Action Committee pays Melania's stylist, I forget what, $20,000 a month or $18,000 a month over the past 3 years. has paid the stylist like $5,600,000 to do Melania's hair and makeup. And when Melania gives those speeches, the Political Action Committee pays, or they get groups to pay her money for the speech, like the Log Cabin Republicans, the so-called LGBTQ Republican group. They're out there paying Melania $250,000 for these ridiculous speeches. And then she's selling things like this. And she steals the symbols of America too, like vote freedom. Like she's selling vote freedom necklaces for $600 at MelaniaTrump.com. She's also selling Melania Trump bridal figurines with Swarovski crystals. She's selling this weird photograph called the Meta Rose for $150. I mean, this is some real strange stuff right here. She's making videos about why she models nude. I'm not even going to play that video. It's a video. She goes, "This is why I like to model nude." But let me show you this video right here. Now, this is part of Donald Trump's campaign speech. And one of the things he talks about on his campaign speech, this is 100% true, I'm going to show you the video, is he says that Melania would never believe, this speech is at a high school, by the way. I think that's important context. He's speaking in front of kids. He's at a high school in Iowa. And he says in the speech that Melania knows that he would never get urinated on by hookers. He said he's not into germs, so it's not his thing to get urinated on by hookers. And Melania would know that. And Melania would think other things about him, but not the being peed on by prostitutes. That's what Donald Trump says in his speech, his campaign speech in a high school. Play the clip.
He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night to go up and tell my wife, "It's not true, darling. I love you very much"? It's not true. Actually, that one she didn't believe because she said he's a germaphobe. He's not into that, you know? He's not into golden showers, as they say they call it. He's not. I don't like that idea. No, I didn't. I thought that would be a big problem. I was going to have a rough night, but that one she was very good on. She said, no.
So in conclusion, this is what the MAGA movement has become. And as the anonymous count writes, come on, they're not weird at all. They just wear diapers for Trump. They wear ear tampons for Trump. They wear shitty $400 golden Trump shoes. They buy Trump Bibles for $60. And they carry around J.D. Vance semen sample kits, which is true. All this stuff is true. This photo is all real stuff that goes down at Trump events. So I start off with that video of Melania and Trump. We unpack it. But we need to just get beyond this, America. We do. We need to get beyond this Trump family. We need a return to normalcy. I so want to talk about the intricacies of healthcare policies and the best way to deliver healthcare and how we could reduce prescription drug prices. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we strengthen our NATO alliances, don't you? I want to talk about how we help our military. I want to talk about, though, how we create affordable housing, like Vice President Kamala Harris. I want to talk about, you may have heard my daughter crying in the background. I want to talk about making childcare more affordable. I want, for you, for me, that's what I want to talk about. How we can make childcare more affordable. How we can, help take care of our parents and make that more affordable. I want to spend time talking about that. I want to come together as a country when there's natural disasters like hurricanes. I don't want people, especially political leaders, spreading lies about it and lying and using everything as like a political wedge to divide us. I want to go to Thanksgiving. And I don't want to have to worry about that one relative who's going, MAGA, MAGA. I don't want that. I want normal. And that's what Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz, I think, represent going forward with normalcy and moving the country forward and getting past and being burdened by all this Trump crap, which you just saw right there. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thank you.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.